Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. HappyCattyCrypto here. So let's get an update out there on USTC, the situation around it, how it stands with Terra Rebels, and as to what its future could or couldn't be. And just kind of like breaking down pretty much that individual section from the emergency management and revival plan. It's the recovery of Lunar Classic. So here we go. It's in the conclusions and future directions section. In future directions, we believe that algorithmic stablecoin connection between Luna and UST is an important, useful, and differentiating factor of the Terra ecosystem. This topic is beyond the scope of emergency measures that need to be taken immediately and will be addressed more thoroughly in a different document. In conclusion, we have presented our technical specifications on how past governance proposals can be implemented. I'm not going to read the rest, but as you can see from that section there, is that pretty much there's going to be a whole separate document to outline the stablecoin and its future, so to speak. So as to all the people going around asking me what's the future of USTC and are they going to be relinking it? Are they going to be turning the minting back on? And there's a lot of people saying, oh, well, if they repeg it and do all these things, then it's definitely going to turn the minting back on. And then we'll just go back to where we was and it'll all be for nothing. And that's just not the case. Okay, folks, it really is just not the case. And this goes back to the IBC channel video that has gone out, I think, late last night, possibly. Yeah, it went out late last night. And everything needs to be done very carefully, very slowly, and with utter caution. It needs to be double, triple checked by multiple people across the board. And this is normal in anywhere, in just any kind of business with anything, especially things that have to go through testing, test nets and stuff like that. When you're developing a game, and I know this myself from developing Game Boy games, is that when one thing gets tested by myself, I will then hand it over to the next person in the chain. They may add a few things, fix a few things, but they may also break a few things from adding those things. So then someone else has to go back through it. Okay, okay, right, that's sorted. Then suddenly you've broken something else that the other person implemented, and it's just sort of, there's all these things that go into testing. It's super important that a lot of people do have patience. Now, we're going to touch up in this video is the circulating supply and the total supply. And I think it's very important that we keep going back to this and saying to people that any coins being added to the circulating supply are coins coming out of staking. This is very, very common. It happens a lot in SHIB, and we want to be very, very thankful that it's not in the trillions being added back to it. And there's actually, in relative terms, not a huge amount that is in staking compared to the rest of the circulating supply. But people need to remember, don't pay attention to the circulating supply. Pay attention to the total supply. That's the one that you need to focus on if you're fixated on that kind of thing, because the circulating supply is always going to go up and down depending on what's actually happening in the market. And a lot of people also need to understand is, once staking gets re-enabled, the governance gets re-enabled, there's going to be a lot of coins that probably leave the market on that day or a couple of days after, as people get their wallets whitelisted and move stuff over to the Terra Station or other places. And it's just, I know you can stake on a lot of exchanges at the moment with Terra Classic as well. So people need to take that into consideration and understand that this isn't just, there's only been 1.17, I think now. It's 1.17. Yeah, 1.17 billion Lunar Classic that has actually been burnt in total to this wallet. So you can, that will already be minused out. But as far as I'm also aware, the mechanisms itself for removing the total supply, it happens on epochs. So it's down to how quickly an epoch happened, sorry folks, so to speak. So as to all the people that are going around saying a lot of stuff about, oh, you know, the supply's going up, they're still minting, and they just won't look at the factual evidence that's being presented to them and actually accept, well, hang on a minute, they're not. And it probably is coins that are being unstaked. And it's not just me saying this. Duquan has stated it. a few times on Twitter, and the team over at Terra Rebels have also taken the time to prove that the wallet itself is all, it can't be more outlined. It's the same with the circulating supply. Ed has proved that there's no minting whatsoever. So do take that one as a guaranteed. It's not minting. And if the minting ever does get turned back on, you would be the first to know, believe me about that, because it went into a situation of hyperminting and it minted those 7.9 trillion tokens rather quickly. And yes, it was 7.9 trillion tokens, and somehow it got down to 6.9 trillion total supply, which is very interesting in itself. We don't have an answer to as who did that, who was responsible, and those coins have never ever been sent to this dead wallet, which is also another thing that people forget. And these things do get forgotten about over time. So yeah, like I said, don't fixate too much on how much is being burnt right now, because we are really in the early stages of it. This is why I calm down on the burn reporting and stop shoving it in people's faces, because this really is a long process. Yes, anything can happen between, but at the end of this all, it is a very long process. So just brushing up again quickly at the end of this video, like I said, there will be a different document that will be coming out, and it will thoroughly address the whole stablecoin situation, everything around it, and all the things surrounding it. And like they say, they audit all of their code publicly. Okay, folks, you can go and you can look at this code on GIT Hub. You can go and join the Terra Rebels Discord, and you can help them out. You can have a say. If you've got skills in coding, things like that, do not be afraid to reach out. And if you can't reach out to anyone in there, or you're struggling to, reach out to me on Twitter, on Twitter or in the Telegram group, and I will be sure to put you in connection with the correct persons inside Terra Rebels, because they're always looking for new members that can join, have a say, help out, and things like this. It's a democracy, not a tyranny. So as to what's going on in the future with the financial disclaimers and stuff like that, people need to remember that no author is being financially compensated for their insistence in the management or in the emergency management of the Luna Classic blockchain. Several authors have also disclosed personal financial interests in the form of Lunc and UST holdings. So yeah. So like I said, I'll be bringing more updates, and there is a roadmap meeting today, later on this evening, in Terra Rebels, so I hope to be bringing some more positive news for you folks to really keep your spirits up and keep you huddled together. So do stay safe out there, folks. It's not financial advice, and beware of scammers, doppelgangers, anybody's pretending to be me, the Luna Classic Let It Burn channel. And like I always say, catch you in the next one. Shaloop.